Freddy here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode we'll be taking a look at the Gerber Basic fixed blade knife. Quickly we'll look at the packaging really quick. This is the old style packaging. There is a new sort of black looking packaging that will probably become more common as the days go by. You can see it is the Gerber Basic 3-inch knife, fixed blade. This is full tang construction. It is combo edge, partially serrated. That is the only way it comes. You cannot get a full plain edge or all serrated. You only get the combo. It has soft rubber handle scale. And you get a plastic sheath here with this really big clip that's reversible. And your normal crap on the back. One thing it doesn't say anywhere on the packaging is what kind of steel it is. It's that Gerber Mystery Stainless Steel. Usually when that happens, I assume it's 7CR17 MOV, which is the cheaper Chinese steel comparable with 440A. Now I have had this open before. I've been messing around with it for about a week, trying to figure out the purpose of this knife. As you can see, it's very small. Here's the sheath. I'm going to go ahead and pop out my Recon 1 so you can sort of see how that dwarfs this little Gerber fixed blade. Let's quickly run over the specs really quick. What you're looking at is about a 3-inch cutting edge here on the blade, and it's advertised as a 3-inch blade, although some sites will say it's 3.4 inches. But you can see here your cutting edge is 3. Again, this is a combo edge. You have your serrations. That's the only way this comes. You have a hollow ground that starts at about 1/4 from the top of the blade. Then you start getting your hollow grind. It comes with some serrations up here on top and some down here. Really not very functional at all, more aesthetic. And this middle serration helps it lock into the sheath that comes with it. Back here you have a lanyard hole, or you could really strap just about anything onto that, and it can also double as a blunt impact tool or some sort of pummel or glass breaker right here. You can see your scales. It's sort of like a plastic or a nylon with a rubber insert here, really cushy. They call it tack hide if you go by their website. You have a generous finger choil here that really gives you a good grip. Now the scales here are held on by 3 small torque screws, and you have that of course on both sides. So let's go ahead and take a really close look at this. Should have cleaned all the dirt off, but we'll go ahead and take a quick look. So the weight, it's rather light since it is small. It's only 3.77 ounces, so relatively light, especially compared to the Recon 1. Also, the full size of this, although you're looking at a 3-inch blade, the whole length of this is only 6.6 inches. So really, they've kept this handle really small, and that's where the first issue begins. So let's take a look at this handle. You can see my hands, which are medium to large. If I wrap my hand around it, you can see my pinky is hitting this pummel area back here, or bolster, whatever you want to call it. So you can see it sort of will hang off or whatever. Although it's still a very solid grip, it's not really badly uncomfortable. But it's what they've done to keep this handle small. And we'll talk about that here shortly. Now, surprisingly, this blade is very comfortable in reverse grip. Your pinky getting into that choil right there, and your thumb getting over the pummel here. It's actually rather comfortable, even with my large hands around this very small handle. It's actually almost more comfortable in the reverse grip here than the normal grip. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and do a paper test and see how well this cuts. Brand new. I have not sharpened this. Ooh. Kind of rough. I mean, it does a paper cut, but when I try to do it slow, maybe I'm catching the serrations there. It's a little rough. Let's go ahead and try one more piece of paper here just to make sure. Sometimes humidity can affect the paper. No, it's not quite as sharp as most knives out of the box. Okay, what I'm going to do is go ahead and touch this up using my Pocket Pal. I'm just going to do it on the ceramic part of this. I've done a video on this before, and it's pretty good on most edges, just to do some quick maintenance. Let's see what kind of difference this makes. Much better. Much better. One other thing really quick is this coating. You can see it's non-reflective black. It is a titanium nitride coating. Should stand up reasonably well. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the sheath. So you basically have a basic polymer style sheath here. It doesn't really say exactly what it's made of, but you know, it could be, I mean, it just feels like plastic or resin, possibly some glass reinforced nylon, fiberglass. Not quite sure. And you can see there's a big generous clip. This clip does not have an enormous amount of strength to it, which is one of the issues I have with this. Now you can see there's two screws right in there. You have basically two holes here so you could access these screws and unscrew this clip. And you could turn it around for tip up or tip down. Or you could go ahead and take these two screws out and put the clip on that side. So you have left or right-handed tip up or tip down. Now another unique design of this sheath is this cutout here with this little piece that you push up on. Let me show you how that works. We'll go ahead and put the knife into the sheath. And remember I told you this serration right up here, or this jimping right here, this middle one, actually gets stuck behind a little bump inside the sheath, and you'll see this piece come up a little bit. Or you might not. But basically it's locked in there really good. Now what you're supposed to do to release this is you grab a hold of the handle and you push right here, and it helps you get it out. Now when you first get this, it will be nearly impossible to get the knife out of this sheath. It is so tight. I can't begin to tell you how tight this sheath is. And it took about maybe 100 times just doing this, or actually just trying to force it in and out, which actually wore away and the pieces of plastic were coming out. Basically try to wear it so it will reasonably loosen up. And you can still see it's still pretty tight. But now it's much more comfortable to get in and out using your thumb. So I really don't like this because you have such a powerful grip on the knife here with this sheath. It just holds on to it, and yet the clip is so weak that if you were to put this into your pants or into your pocket and just draw it, unless you make sure you're pushing on here as intended, you're going to pull this whole thing out of your pocket or out from behind your belt. Now I was trying to figure out different ways to mount this thing or to wear it, and you can go ahead and sort of put it inside your pants and let the belt clip come out around the belt or behind the belt, but still around your pants, sort of like that. But for people with these fat rolls, it really will jab you no matter how you put it in there. But if you're normal sized, you'll have no problem, and the nice thing is you can sort of put it like that. Or actually, if you want to wear it in a defensive kind of way on your off-hand side, you could go ahead and sort of have it like this, so you could do a very quick draw and just sort of you would come down and get it out. And you can pull this out quicker than you can get a folder. Just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and just put this here because I just can't deal with this. But to get this out, the quickest I could get my Recon out, now I'm not a professional, but the quickest I could get it out is to do that. That's the quickest. And what I'm doing is, I'm kind of lucky because the Recon, the blade is so heavy, you could, through gravity, you could sort of just pop it out like that. So that's what I did. So the quickest I could get this out is like that. But a fixed blade, like this, it's almost one motion. So even just doing it rather slow, I'm still getting it out faster than really trying very fast with my folder. So it really doesn't take much to get it out. Now you have a lot of different options here. Again, you could sort of rotate this around to the other side, and you could do like cross-hand draws. So I could put it on this side, and you could just sort of reach around and pull it out. You could also put this in a boot or wherever. I mean, you have a lot of options, but this clip is very weak. I mean, it doesn't take much to just pull this out. So you have to make sure that you get your finger on that sheath right there, around that area right there, and push. So one of the things I didn't mention is how much this costs. You could probably get it anywhere between $30 and $40 depending on where you shop. Is it worth it? Well, if you have very, very large hands, it might not be, because it's not particularly comfortable if you're going to use this as sort of like an everyday, but most people don't use fixed blades for everyday. But if you want to use this for like a camping knife or something like that, I'm sure if you start having to do a lot of work with this, this is going to become uncomfortable because the handle is so small. Now if you're if you're giving this to maybe a kid to use while camping, or a Boy Scout or Girl Scout or whatever out there, or maybe just a person with smaller hands, very small hands, this might be very comfortable for them. But I think the reason why this is made small is so you can carry it and it doesn't sort of jab you in the side, so they tried to make this as small. So this is like a very good concealable fixed blade knife. It's probably about as big as you want to get with a concealable defensive kind of knife, which I don't think it's what it's really made for, but I actually think it does quite well. So if you do decide to carry this as a defensive weapon, one thing you need to make sure is that your country or your state is okay with you carry a fixed blade knife. I know my state, I can carry, as big as I want a folder, but there's all kinds of rules about a concealed fixed blade. So this is really not an option for me for everyday carry. So I'll be sticking with a folder. Now I do have another folder coming in the mail soon, so I will be, I've been carrying this for over a month. I've been very happy with the Recon one, but I'm going to have to now put this aside, and this is really my favorite, so I can go ahead and try it out a different one. But getting back to the Gerber, it's hard to figure out the purpose of this knife, just being what it is, but it's very unique, and there's not too many knives that really fall into this small fixed blade category such as this. So I would give it a 7 out of 10, only because it's just I don't know what's up with the handle. They don't give you the option of having a full straight non-combo edge. You have to get the serrations. This is the only style that comes in as the combo. You can't get a plain edge. So I sort of bump it for that. Although it has a very nice belly right here, there's really enough edge there for most of your skinning maybe and cutting and slicing needs, and it still looks like it's a pretty good penetrator also. So it's a really good all-purpose blade. It's trying to do, I think it's just trying to do too much for what it is. Trying to make it small, but try to just have this do everything, so you end up doing everything okay and it really excels at nothing, is my opinion. And again, that's only my opinion. I mean, some of you might find a very good purpose for this. Hell, it might actually make a good throwing knife. I don't know. I don't throw knives, although the weight it's very heavy. And I know most throwing knives tend to be heavier at the point, unless, I don't know, I'm not a thrower. So, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And please come back and keep on viewing. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you like it. Comment below or wherever the comments sort of go over the years. I know YouTube likes to keep things changing, keep things fresh, whatever. So, see ya. Bye.